The group of friends had been planning their boating trip for weeks. They had rented a boat and set off early in the morning, excited for a weekend of adventure and relaxation. But their trip took a terrifying turn when they stumbled upon an uncharted island. As they landed on the island, they were greeted by the sight of strange totems and ominous markings on the trees. They quickly realized that something was not right. As they explored the island, they found the remains of previous visitors, and it became clear that the island was inhabited by cannibals. The group was horrified, but they couldn't leave the island as their boat had been damaged during landing and they were stranded. They tried to fix the boat, but it was beyond repair. They were trapped. They decided to set up camp and plan their escape, but they couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. They heard strange noises coming from the jungle, and they knew the cannibals were closing in. They built a fire to keep themselves warm and to keep wild animals away, but the fire also attracted unwanted attention. As night fell, the group huddled around the fire, trying to keep warm and stay calm. But the fear was too much to bear, and one of the friends, out of curiosity, decided to go out and investigate the noises he heard. He never came back. The rest of the group knew they had to leave the island, but their boat was still damaged. They had to come up with another way to escape. They decided to try and signal for help, but it was too late. The cannibals had already found them. The group could see the cannibals approaching, their bodies painted in ashes and blood. The group fought for their lives, but they were outnumbered and outmatched. The cannibals captured them and took them to their village, where they were tied up and left to wait for their fate. The group knew that there was no way out. They were going to be the next victims of the cannibals' ritual. The cannibals kept them in a small hut. They could hear the drums and the chanting. They knew what was going to happen. They were going to be as the cannibals came to take them to the sacrifice. The group fought with all their might, but they were quickly overpowered. They were taken to a clearing in the jungle where they saw a large fire and a stone altar. They were forced to kneel in front of the altar, and the cannibals started to perform the ritual. The group could see the cannibals dancing around the fire. They could feel the heat and the smoke. They could hear the screams of the previous victims. They knew this was the end. They had no way out. They closed their eyes and prepared for the worst. But suddenly, they heard a loud noise. It sounded like a helicopter. They opened their eyes and saw a rescue team. They had been found. The cannibals were taken by surprise, and the group was rescued just in time. They were airlifted to safety and received medical attention. The group was safe, but they were forever changed by their experience on the island. They had a new appreciation for life and the dangers that lurked in uncharted territories. They also knew that the cannibals were still out there, and they would always remember the terror they had faced on that island.
Leave a like and subscribe for more scary stories.